Ladies and gentlemen, we are here at TokenizeThis 2025, a prestigious conference all about real-world asset tokenization at the Glass House in the heart of New York City.
And we've been in the business since 2017. And then as per your introduction, it's always beautiful to be in New York City. Look at the weather today, it's beautiful here. The conference is amazing so far.
It's great that we're able to tokenize these assets and make them liquid, but if there's no buy side on the other side, then our capital is still just as illiquid as it was prior to being tokenized.
We have agentic automation that does automatic onboarding of issuers in a seamless manner. You don't need to have those before everything manual. We are the oldest RWA application infrastructure player based in US, and we have done multiple issuances from commercial real estate to data centers to reinsurance contracts to private equity, private debt as well.
This conference has brought together the leadership from Stellar, Ripple, obviously Zoniqx.
Hey, what's going on, family and friends? I hope you're all having a wonderful week. In this video, I sit down with Prasanth Kalangi, the CEO of Zoniqx, a Ripple-backed, Silicon Valley-based tech integrator, while in attendance at the TokenizeThis conference at the Glass House in New York City. We discussed all things tokenization. The legacy ways of sending money and information are evolving from traditional methods to cutting-edge, technologically enabled infrastructure. It's always a great time connecting with the team at Zoniqx. Big thanks to Prasanth and Sanjeev for the opportunities to connect, and thanks to the team at STM Markets for enabling this exclusive interview at the world-class TokenizeThis conference. And major thanks to you all for tuning in today. I hope you learned something. Love you mucho.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are here at TokenizeThis 2025, a prestigious conference all about real-world asset tokenization at the Glass House in the heart of New York City. To my left is Prasanth Kalangi, the CEO of Zoniqx, a disruptive fintech company that is changing the game all around the world. Prasanth, thank you for joining me today, sir. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Welcome to the United States. It's good to have you here, sir. You flew all the way, I believe, from Dubai.
Yeah. So I've been traveling all around the world. So we are based in US. We are a US-based company in Silicon Valley, and we've been in the business since 2017. And then as per your introduction, it's always beautiful to be in New York City. Look at the weather today. It's beautiful here. And the conference is amazing so far.
How has your experience been so far at the conference? Because you're a sponsor, so thank you very much to you and the team at Zoniqx. And not only are you a sponsor, but you are also a leading panelist on one of the many world-class panels today. So you're not just anybody, Prasanth. So thank you very much for sharing your time with me. How has your time been? What have you learned? And then let's talk about all things Zoniqx.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, we did a sponsorship here, and then the panels are, I think, good. So I came here yesterday afternoon and then got a little chance of the conference. And this morning it's been great. So we had a panel that talks about the liquidity issue in RWAs, which is the most important and pertinent topic in this industry, because you see in the space of RWAs, there's a lot of like tokenized products that are coming on chain, but there is less of a primary distribution that's happening. I think that is what Zoniqx has been working on to solve that puzzle piece, which is a critical puzzle piece in this whole ecosystem and the industry as such, which is what we touched upon the panel.
And that's a really good point that you bring up, Prasanth. It's great that we're able to tokenize these assets and make them liquid, but if there's no buy side on the other side, then our capital is still just as illiquid as it was in the prior to being tokenized. Is that true, or what are your thoughts?
Yeah, well, if we have to just step back, right? Step back and then go a little bit back. And then since we started here, right? So we've been doing it since 2017, as I said. The spectrum is so big. So initially the issue was legal class standardization, then finding the right assets on the supply side, and then education, people understanding what this is all about, right? And then we moved all those stages step by step. Now we have got good supply of assets, which are our issuers have got great asset supply, which is yield-bearing assets, fixed income products, right? So then the next natural is to find the buy side for these assets, right? The technology part, which companies like Zoniqx, right? So we are the leading company in the space, as you might have known, with our relationships with all the major leading industry players in the space, like PwC,
Deloitte,
the XRPL, Ripple, Hedera, and other partners, right, in the space. So we have 65 plus ecosystem partners that we have worked with in the last 70 years or so. And then we build this huge ecosystem, and we have got the entire tech stack, right from primary issuance and structuring, and then like investor, issuer, everything, and tokenized product offering there with the right supply and everything. Now, the next step the industry requires, not just Zoniqx issuers, is distribution of this. Okay, so we've got everything. So we are going to launch a product very soon, and then it's called RWA Connect. So it's going to help the issuers for this issuance of tokenized products, which are on chain, to find the distribution networks. So think of it as like you have different types of connectors where each connector could be an exchange connector, an ATS connector, or a broker dealer connector, right? On the other side, there's a buy side, a distribution side. On this side, there's a supply side, right? So we've got AI algorithms in there that are going to help to do this seamlessly in terms of how this is done. So that's going to be a breakthrough product in this industry. And this is all done through our protocol called ERC-7518 and DICE's protocol, which are also very important in the security space.
Great tee up, because as you mentioned up on stage is the need for standardization. And if you don't mind sharing with the audience, as you are interacting with a highly regulated sector or space, what does standardization mean to you, and what does it look like to you as you are engaging with these various verticals? May it be real estate opportunity versus tokenized private equity. With all of these moving parts, what does standardization look like, and what is Zoniqx's approach to implementing standardization?
Great question, Ray. Thank you for bringing that up. So every industry requires standardization, right? I was mentioning an example such as an EDI, electronic data interchange, which is back in the day, that does the supply chain as an example, right? So everyone knows what is an order management system or a supply chain management system as in standardization. Healthcare has a standardization. Finance has got standardization with Swift. Tokenization also requires a standardization. That means, let's say if you have different asset classes, the one that you bring up are two different asset classes, right? One is a hard asset class like real estate. The other one is a private equity, right? So a real estate can also be structured as a fund or a debt, depends on how we structure the instrument. And private equity can be done in multiple forms. And then these are also depending on jurisdictions. Let's say the US jurisdiction has got a different set of rules, regulations, versus a different jurisdiction in UAE or Germany, as it matters. So reinventing the same thing on a new way is one aspect, but standardizing it to the level where there is a information piece that is attached to the token, there is a compliance piece that's attached to the token, there's a regulation piece that's attached to the token, and there is also the management of this token on ongoing once it is tokenized product. Tokenization is first step. Let's say like you buy a car, right? Then every month you have to maintain the car. So tokenization, like, okay, you do the initial token offering, then what next? So we have got a protocol called ERC-7518, which is an open source protocol that we've been working on years together to build this. So that will help people to issue any token offering in a most standard format, that adhering to the rules and regulations and the compliance pieces of, let's say, US Reg D offering or UAE offering under their regulatory body, which is WARA with WASP, and then in Germany, BaFin regulation. So that's what I mean. And it's not just us. Everyone has to come and collaborate, and then to make it like much more broader.
What is BaFin? What is VASP for those that are not?
Yeah, so I'll take an example, right? So virtual assets license that's for digital assets that's given. And let's say in Dubai, it's under WADA regulation, Virtual Assets Regulatory Authority is what it's called. In Europe, there's MiCA and there's MiCA regulations that you have to follow for digital assets specifically. And there's whole rules of like regulations in that, what type of structuring you do, who are you distributing to, who is your buy side, not just the KYC, KYB and AML rules. It's more than that. So our engine understands that and applies that based on the jurisdiction of the underlying asset.
Being that Zoniqx is domiciled, yes, in Northern California, correct?
Yeah, so we're based in the Menlo Park.
And with that being said, you're still having to be mindful of standards, regulations worldwide, because of this new technological advancement, call it blockchain or DLT, tokenization. It knows no boundaries. Is there anything that Zoniqx needs to perform, or as a customer of Zoniqx, do I need to be mindful of anything? What's your approach to these international markets?
Yeah, so this cross-border transactions that will happen today. I don't think so in the RWAs that is happening prevalently, especially in some asset classes. Very few asset classes, let's say treasury bills, right, or some money market funds. Some of them are happening, but our engine understands those pieces as well. But before even launching any tokenized product, the issuer, who is typically our client, will do a thorough structuring of the product, and based on the structure, our technology applies that, and then see what's the right best fit for that. And then once it is done, Zoniqx platform takes care of everything, right, in terms of like transferability of these tokens, token restrictions, the lockup periods of these tokens, and who can transfer between who, and then what happens when they do it, what's the reporting requirements of it, and what's the ongoing management of this tokenized asset on chain. So Zoniqx does the soup to nuts, end to end, right, from primary and also the secondary side.
Wow, what a feat, and a task necessary for a team that's as decorated and expansive, because you have teams that are based in the US, overseas. Can you talk about the fundamentals of Zoniqx?
Yeah, so we have team in US, and then we have team in India for engineering, and then we have got a couple of people in a few other places of the world, few other parts of the world. So we are a very lean and very powerful team, I would say. And then each of the team members has been with Zoniqx since years, right from the inceptions, because our first engineer is still with us. He joined us in 2018. He's still with us, like 2025, right? So we're here. And then we're a group of engineers and also a strategy, finance, and a business development team. We're about like 23, 24 people today in the company.
One, there's nothing wrong with being lean. I think actually that's what's required to excel and take over markets. I think that's actually strategic. And
Web3 in general, right? If you see like the DGen community, which is on the other side, is pretty lean, like couple guys knock off big products.
and when you're empowered by AI, all you need is a couple guys.
Yeah, exactly. Empowered by AI, and then you need to understand the process and the business models, and then we can automate them today, which is what happening, right? So I mean, we are at that junction of period where you have got the AI and you've got the blockchain and the finance, right? So Zoniqx is combining all these three components that are really going to take this industry forward. And then because we have AI agentic automation that does automatic onboarding of issuers in a seamless manner. You don't need to have those before everything manual.
Wow.
So the TradFi world is very there, and the DeFi world is very there. So Zoniqx is in between, that's able to marry the TradFi to the DeFi.
Leveraging AI. Yeah.
Leveraging AI and blockchain, correct.
Wow, very cool. Now, for those in the audience that would want to learn more about Zoniqx and all the wonderful achievements that you've done to date, before I do let you go, do you mind highlighting some of your achievements, and how can those in the audience learn more about what Zoniqx is up to as well?
I would love to. We are the oldest RWA application infrastructure player based in US, and we have done multiple issuances, right from commercial real estate to data centers to reinsurance contracts to private equity, private debt as well. And we are integrated with multiple chains, multiple blockchains. Some of them I just touched upon, and you can please check us out on that. And this industry is really growing. And then we are also the authors of a protocol called ERC-7518, which is being widely used by a lot of people, that helps you to do cross-chain interoperability and also bring the assets on chain in a compliant manner and regulated manner. We are also embracing AI very heavily. And there will be some exciting projects which we're going to announce at Token 2049, which is end of this month in Dubai. That's going to happen, which I'm going to go there, and all our team is going to be there. So please watch us out, check us out on our website, and thank you for your support.
Awesome. I hope you guys have a successful time at Token 2049 in Dubai. But most importantly, I hope you're having a great time here at TokenizeThis 2025. And it's a productive opportunity for you guys. This conference has brought together the leadership from Stellar, Ripple, obviously Zoniqx, and other leading market participants like Securitize and others. So this seems to be a very decorated world-class conference, but I can only imagine which Token 2049 is going to be like on the other side of the world.
Yeah.
Especially with Zoniqx being another keynote sponsor, I believe, or a title sponsor for that event as well.
No, we are not sponsors, but we are having like major private event that we are hosting there.
Okay.
We're inviting our clients and customers and also some top people in this industry
Okay.
to come and be part of that private event, which is what we're doing in Dubai.
Excellent. For those in the audience that want to learn more about Zoniqx, please do check out Zoniqx at Zoniqx, Zoniqx.com,
Correct.
and dive on into their tokenized real world asset ecosystem to learn all things about DICEist, all things about the ERC 7518. Thank you for that. I appreciate that, Prasanth. And also to follow Prasanth and Sanjeev across all socials. What's your go-to social that you use the most?
I'm on LinkedIn and Twitter, X. So you can follow me on at the rate Kalangi on Twitter.
That's at the Kalangi, not just any Kalangi, the Kalangi on X. Prasanth, it's been quite the pleasure. Thanks for joining me today, sir.
Thanks, Ray. Okay, you have a great day.
You too.